Hi, this is Ayandeh from University of Southeastern Norway, USN. Today I'm going to talk about my master thesis, which is about chemometric analysis of CO2 capture solvent. This study has been done in collaboration with Technology Centre Mongstad, TCM, in Norway. This is the next step of ongoing research at the University of Southeastern Norway to enable multivariate analysis for industrial-scale CO2 capture process. This study has been done, as I said, in collaboration with Technology Centre Mongstad in Norway as one of the largest post-combustion CO2 capture test centers in the world. In 2015 and 17, TCM operated two comprehensive test campaigns using the benchmark aqueous 38% monoethanol amine solvent. Through collaboration with TCM, USN has been provided with the laboratory test results of the collected samples and analytical data including Fourier transform, infrared or FTIR spectra from these two campaigns. The received FTIR spectra as a multivariate data source contains plenty of important chemical information of the samples. To extract this information, partial least square regression or PLSR method has been used in this study. The PLSR models of total inorganic carbon and total alkalinity, which have been prepared by using FTIR spectra from this campaign, are presented. Finally, the predictability of PLSR models for preparation of two campaigns was tested and error of predictions were studied. Purpose of this study is to indicate the online monitoring integrated with spectroscopic and multivariate analysis is an appropriate method for CO2 capture plant process online monitoring. Through this, it's possible to reduce the time-consuming and expensive conventional laboratory analysis of samples from CO2 capture plants. Upon receiving the FTIR spectra from lean and rich amine and laboratory test results for collected lean samples during these two campaigns, I worked on them to prepare a proper PLSR model with maximum accuracy and predictability at the same time. To do this, different spectral regions have been tried for both TIC and total alkalinity, as you can see here. And these two areas were used during the study. First, let's start with first campaign 2015. I predicted TIC and total alkalinity concentrations in lean amine, and then I predicted the amount of these two compounds in rich amine, and at the end I evaluated the predictability of PLSR models. First of all, I predicted TIC and total alkalinity concentration in lean amine by using the received FTIR spectra. As you can see, the predicted amount are really compatible with the measured concentration during campaign. As it's better to say that the predicted values are exact and same with the measured values during the campaign. Then it was a good challenge to predict the TIC and total alkalinity concentration in rich amine, as we haven't been provided with the measured values for rich amine samples. Only we received FTIR spectra. So it was a good challenge to predict the amount and concentration of these two compounds in rich amines, and I did the prediction. As you can see, these two charts, the predicted values are close to the average range of the compound concentration in rich amine. There are two deviation here for TIC. Maybe it's because of the noise in instruments. The predicted amount are really close to the normal concentration in rich amine, so it's possible to predict the amount and concentration of TIC and total alkalinity in rich amine if the FTIR spectra is available. In the next step, I evaluated the prepared PLSR models. I've been asked during this study by TCM, okay, if we are going to use the PLSR model in real industrial plant, how often the PLSR models should be updated in real process? So, to answer this question, this is the possible solutions: calibrating a PLSR model based on FTIR spectra from the first half of the campaign and predict the TIC or total alkalinity concentrations for the second half of the campaign. Then, calculation of average error of prediction, or called RMSAP, with this formula, and see if the predictions get worse or deviate more in the end than in the beginning. I predicted the amount of these two compounds, and as you can see in the table, the amount of predicted were compatible with the measured concentrations. And also I calculated RMSAP, and it was the RMSAP with these two compounds were really low. So the models work properly and flawlessly, and they can predict very good with the maximum accuracy, that they don't need to be updated during the real campaign. In next step, I worked on the received data from 2017 campaign, the next campaign operated in TCM. First of all, I predicted TIC and total alkalinity concentrations in lineamine. Then, in the next step, I predicted TIC and total alkalinity values in lineamine for 2017 campaign by PLSR model based on 2015 campaign, and vice versa at the end. I predicted TIC, the model predicted, and the predicted concentrations in lineamine for 2017, and as you can see in the two graphs, the predicted values are very compatible with this measured data, and the model works good. In next step, I calculated RMSAP for the two calculated TIC and total alkalinity, and as you can see, the RMSAP are really low and the models works good. In next step, I predicted TIC and total alkalinity concentrations in lineamine for 2017 campaign by PLSR model based and prepared based on 2015 campaign. Before that, it should be mentioned that there are some changes in 2017 campaign. For example, flue gases were different from 2015, and also in the next campaign, 2017, potassium bisulfite called PBS was injected as to inhibit oxidative degradation, and also lots of reclaiming were done in this campaign, solvent reclaiming, MEA makeup, and solvent swap. So the conditions of the 2017 have different with 2015 campaign. And also, as you can see here, in injecting PBS in the system increases salt in the system, as you can see here. And I prepared and calculated RMSAP for predicted values in this campaign, and interestingly, there is the same trend with the deviations in the predicted values with the has the same trend with injecting PBS in the system. So because of the changes in 2015 campaign, the models predicted values for 2017 with deviations. And also I predicted TIC and total alkalinity values or concentrations in lean amine for 2015 campaign by PLSR model based on 2017 campaign. And the predicted values are compatible with same trend with the measured values during the campaign. But as I said, different situation, different conditions between two campaigns caused the different and deviation in predicted values by models. At the end, I should say, by preparing numerous PLSR models and comparing their predictability, it was found that multivariate data analysis integrated with a spectroscopic analysis in an appropriate method for CO2 capture plant monitoring. However, this study has been done based on received dataset and FTIR spectra. It was confirmed that it's possible to predict the required concentrations in the other campaigns by a proper PLSR model from the other campaign, another campaign. But there was a problem in making prediction for both campaigns. Some samples had FTIR spectra and didn't have measured values during the campaign, and vice versa. Hence, it was not possible to compare the predicted and measured values for these types of samples. So it's recommended, in order to have more reliable PLSR model, the provided FTIR spectra and measured values should be provided together and at the same time, if it's possible, of course. By having more data and considering more effective variables, the output of the PLSR model will be more reliable, undoubtedly. It's also still believed that using multivariate analysis and FTIR spectra is technically and economically viable. Through this, it's possible to reduce the time consuming and expensive conventional laboratory analysis of samples. Meanwhile, further development and validation of PLSR model are still required before using this technique in real CO2 capture plant. Thank you very much for your attention.